Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Ram. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jagannath Swami Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की, भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you. You can see here prayers of Prahlada Maharaj. There are very beautiful lectures of Srila Prabhupada on Prahlada's prayers. First few verses Prabhupada has spoken, very wonderful lectures. You just check it. See, Prabhupada has spoken very nicely. Let me just make it a little bigger. Some highlights from Prabhupada's lectures I will show you. Evam suradaya sarve brahma rudra purassaraha nopaitum ashakan manyo samrambham sudurasadam. When all the hosts of devatas, they were assembled, who all? Brahma, Rudra, and many other devatas. Na upaitum ashakan manyu. Manyu means anger. Not able to tolerate the great rage, anger of Lord Narasimha, samrambham, sudurasadam. It was formidable. It was impossible for them to approach Lord Narasimha. Somebody may think, we have heard God is supposed to be very peaceful. Huh? Why God is angry? In fact, we want to become peaceful by praying to Him. If He Himself is angry, how is it possible? The most important point is God's anger is divine. God's anger is transcendental. By Lord Narasimha's anger, he liberated Hiranyakashipu and protected Prahlada. Similarly, in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we read Prithu Maharaja's anger towards the earth. The result of that anger was not destruction. The result of that anger was something productive. Similarly, Lord Narasimha's anger apparently destroyed Hiranyakashipu, but it liberated him. So his anger is all beneficial to the entire world. As soon as Lord Narasimha appeared, one could hear the chanting of the Purusha Sukta prayers. All the Brahmanas became fearless, chanting the Vedic mantras. Devatas were showering flowers. Everybody became free. Nobody was bound by any fear of Hiranyakashipu anymore. So, till then the Asuric culture was there. When Lord Narasimha appeared, the divine culture blossomed. That is the fruit of his anger. So, Manyu Samrambham. One should not think of his anger to be ordinary. So, Prabhupada is saying here, if you have to approach the Supreme pure, you have to become pure. Otherwise, you will be fearful. Now, who all were fearful? The demons were absolutely fearful, and the demigods were partially fearful. And Prahlada was fearless. And Prabhupada says, to the degree you are pure, you become fearless. And to some degree, if you have a mixture of purity and impurity, then you have some fear. Just like, say you are walking in the road, the police comes. Will you be fearful? No, you don't fear. You walk your way, police goes his way. But if a thief looks at a police, he has to be fearful. Because he has stolen some money. Similarly, those asuras with material desires, they were afraid of seeing Lord Narasimha. And demigods have a mixture of material desires and desire to serve. So they were slightly fearful, seeing Lord Narasimha. And Prahlada was completely fearless. So, Prabhupada is saying here, so we should be very careful not try to become equal or greater than Krishna. Very cautiously and intelligently we have to make progress in spiritual life. Don't take it lightly. We should be very much careful. Otherwise there is fall down. And once fall down means gap of millions of years. You have got this human life. So Prabhupada is saying that while serving the Lord, be attentive. He is saying, once we are condemned by Krishna, it is very difficult to rise up again. Muda janmani janmani, he is saying. So don't do anything which will make Krishna unhappy. Simply engage yourself in the service of the Lord, he says. So there was one thing Lord Narasimha was upset with, Devatas. One shloka he tells Brahma, don't give benedictions to asuras beyond your jurisdiction. Because when Hiranyakashipu performed severe penances, Brahma was very impressed by that. Brahma came flying along with Bhrigu Muni and many other devatas to the forest area where Hiranyakashipu was doing severe penance and covered by ant hills over his body. And both arms raised. Continuously he was standing for several years. And ants and moths had eaten up his body. Only bones were visible. And his life hair was moving within the bones. And when Brahma and Devatas came, nobody could find out where he was. And Brahma took his kamandalu and sprinkled water on that ant hill. And out came Hiranyakashipu emerging like fire coming out of wood. Like that he came out. Now he had a tenacious body now, blessed by the Brahma's waters from his kamandalu. He offered obeisances and told Brahma that, Brahma, thank you for your darshan. Appearing in front of me, I was staunchly worshipping you all these years to beg you some benedictions. And Brahma told him, along with me, many sages and demigods have come. Even this Bhrigu Muni, although he is a great tapasvi, he cannot do tapasya like you, that you even refrain from drinking even drops of water for 100 celestial years. Nobody can do, fasting like you. So Lord Brahma was very impressed by Hiranyakashipu's penance, and he told, Darshanam nafalam mama, he said. Now that you got my darshan, I can give you whatever you want. Don't worry, I am available to you. Like that he said. Now Hiranyakashipu had a long list. First of all, he wanted immortality. Immortality means amaratvam. And Brahma said, I am myself not amar. When the Brahmanda is finished, even I have to leave my position and go back to God. Nobody in this world can live permanently. So then Hiranyakashipu tricked Brahma by asking him such a benediction. I should not die inside palace, outside palace, not in the sky, not on the land, not by a human, not by an animal, not in the daytime, not in the night time. And Brahma went on saying, Tadastu, 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 Tadastu. Suddenly Brahma realized, hey, this fellow has tricked me. Now he has become invincible. He cannot be killed by anybody. Brahma was thinking, alas, now how will I be able to be answerable to Supreme Lord? And now Hiranyakashipu, after getting these boons, he became very atrocious. He went to the heavenly abode, he sat on the throne of Indra, drove out Indra and all the other lower demigods. Except Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, he did not care a fig about anybody. He even told, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, all of you submit your resignation letter. They said, sir, if we resign from our post, how our duties will be taken care? He said, I will do everything. And then they asked, what are we supposed to do? He said, just clap hands, that's all. I will do, you just applaud me. So he was doing one-man show. So in this way, he was always drunken in liquor. It is said, I'll just show you that verse. Samangamattam madhunoru gandhina Vivrittatamrakshama Upasatopayana pane virvina Trivistapo yoga balauja sampadam. So his eyes were always rotating like copper balls. And the eyes were bloodshot and drunken in liquor. Madhunor Gandhina. And Vivrita Tambraksha, his eyes were rolling. Like that. And Upasato Upayanam. Devatas brought gifts to him, kept in front of him, he would tell them, get lost. And they would run away out of fear. Like that. In this way, Vina Trivistapa, which means except three Murtis, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, everybody else had to be controlled by him. Jagur Mahendra Sanamaja Sastitam Vishma Basu Tumbururasmadadayaha Gandharva Siddha Rishayastu Vanmuhur Vidyadharashchapsarasascha Pandava. Like that, Narada Muni is telling that even Mahendra Asana, he's sitting in that asana of Indra, and he became so powerful that Vishwavasu Gandharva, Tumburu, Asmati is saying, Narada is saying, me also. Narada was also sitting in the assembly praising Hiranyakashipu. All of us had to always fan him and praise him. Gandharva, Siddha, Rishi, and Apsaras, all of them. Muhu means again and again you have to praise him daily. Keep on pampering him. We were all doing that, he is saying. Sayeva varnashrami, Sayeva varnashrami Kratavir Bhuri Dakshinaihi Idyamano Havir Bhagan Agrahit Svena Tejasa. So, all the Yajna Kriya, all those things which were done, everything was stopped by his power. Akrishta Pachyatasyasit Saptadvipavati Mahi Tata Kamaduga Gavo Nanashcharya Padam Nabha. The earth was yielding fruits, flowers, grains, everything out of fear of Hiranyakashipu, it is said. Just like nowadays, they have made a mango tree which is only this much height. And you can get mangoes just for plucking. You know that? They do this, what do you call that? They, when hybrid they do, many things they do nowadays. It's a short mango tree. Similarly, watermelon, earlier they used to put round watermelon. Now, they used the biotechnology and they made it into rectangular so it can fit very nicely. So all this is done by the scientists who are all imitators of Hiranyakashipu, tiny imitators. They can also play with nature, correct now? They make apple look very dark red, they change the pigment of the skin color, they make the kaddu which is this much small, they put oxygen injection, boom, they'll make it so big. So in this way, Hiranyakashipu was controlling the nature. Now who is the controller of nature? Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Krishna is controller of nature, isn't it? But Hiranyakashipu was controller of nature for a short time, not for a very long time. After that, Narasimha came and finished him. In this world, even if somebody controls this world, they can control to some degree, for some period of time. In this way, this is what I read in the morning. Sayitam nirjitakakub Ekarat Pishayan Priyan Yato Pajosham Bunjano Natrupyat Ajitendriya. Although this fellow controlled so many things, all the world for some period of time, he was Natrupyat, means he was not satisfied. And then Ajitendriya, because of uncontrolled senses. And now after all these atrocities, see Lord Narasimha came. Captured him when he jumped out of the pillar. Now, seeing Lord Narasimha's anger, all the devatas became fearful. Lord is the only supreme controller. There's no one. At that time, devatas were trembling. We have given him benedictions to Hiranyakashipu. Lord may be upset, and Lord was indeed upset at Brahma for a while. He said, don't give benedictions to asuras beyond your jurisdiction. Like that Lord told. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here. So don't do anything which will make Krishna unhappy. Simply engage yourself in the service of the Lord. So Prabhupada is saying, these bad habits like kama, krodha, kama, lust, anger, all these things are also coming from God, but how can we neglect it? And then he's saying, as you are a living being, there must be kama, krodha, lobha, moha, matsarya. You cannot reject it. You cannot make it zero. That is impersonalism. But it has its proper use. And then he's saying, proper use means it must be used for Krishna. He's saying, everything is good when it is used for Krishna. Now, how can we use? There is one Narottam Das Thakur's poem where he says, Kama Krishna Karmarpane Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane Lobha Sadhu Sange Harikata Moha Ishtalabhavine Mada Krishna Gunagane Niyukta Karibe Yata Yata. He's telling one should engage one's passion in service to Krishna. No? Kama Krishna Karma Arpane. If you have a lot of passion, you lift the Sankirtan boxes, book boxes, put in the load the trucks, or go to the kitchen and cook. Huh? Drain your passion in Krishna Seva. Huh? And then anger, you can use it in Krishna service, like Hanuman used his anger in burning Lanka, in Lord Rama's Seva. Or you can defeat the atheistic people by counter arguments. And low, you can have greed for Sadhu Sangha and Harikatha. That you can have as much greed as you want, he's saying. Huh? And then he's saying, and if you have a craving, moha in this world, develop the craving for Krishna. Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Viraganame. Convert that moha for opposite sex in this world to craving for Krishna, Govinda Viraha. Like it. Mada Krishna Gunagane, he's saying. If you like to be mad in dancing and singing Krishna's holy name. Mada Krishna Gunagane. Niyukta Karibe Yata Yata. In this way, all these emotions can be engaged in Lord's service. Spiritual, everything is good. Material, everything is bad, he's saying. And then Prabhupada is saying here, Krishna is thief, Makan Chor. And then he's called Kshir Chor Gopinath. In this world, if I steal something for my sense gratification, I am beaten with shoes, he's saying. When Krishna steals butter, he is glorified as Makan Chor. He's saying. So all these things are coming from Krishna. So in this way, he's saying many things. But I'll show you some part of his lecture. Sakshat Shri Preshita Devair Drishtva Tam Mahadadbhutam Adrishta Ashrita Purvatvat Sanopeyaya Shankita. See, Shri means Lakshmi. Sakshat Shri, goddess of fortune herself, was requested by the Devatas. Oh, Mother, Lakshmi, look at your husband is in an angry mood now. That Narasimha. He is sitting in the throne and roaring. He is doing Garjana. So we are all afraid to approach him, but you being his wife, we are requesting you. Can you approach him and pacify him? But what she said Adrishta Ashrita Purvatvat means, till now I have never seen him in such an angry mood. My husband Vishnu is always smiling. He is known for his smile and his loving glance and gentle speech and beautiful smile is always very charming. But now he is in an angry mood, as Lord Narasimha. Adrishta Ashrita Purvatvat. I have never heard he is angry ever. We have heard the pastime of Bhrigumuni coming and kicking in the chest of Lord Vishnu. Did he become angry? He massaged the feet of Bhrigumuni and said that maybe your feet are too soft, my chest is too hard. He is known for his humility, gentleness, sweetness. And now she said, he is so angry, I have never seen him. So now Upayai Shankita, she became doubtful. She said, I am not sure whether I can approach him now. Now, why did she behave like this? Because, see, Prabhupada is saying here, the Prabhupada lecture. So, many things Prabhupada said. She also became afraid. My husband has appeared as Narasimhadev, but because that wonderful feature of the Lord was so fearful, she did not dare to come before him. Why? Because she also knew never her husband has assumed such a ferocious form of anger. So, and then Prabhupada is saying, so at that time, Lakshmi was inspired by Leela Shakti. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has written that Leela Shakti thought that if Lakshmi goes and garlands our Lord Narasimhadev, she will become the object of everybody's attention. But that was not Mother Lakshmi's desire. She wanted to make who the hero? Prahlada. So purposefully she detained her. She refrained from going to Lord Narasimha. And she said, I am afraid I will not go. Then naturally she knew all the devatas will approach Prahlada to go. So that's what Prahlada was told. Prahladam preshayamasa Brahma avasthitamantike Tata prashamayopehi Swapitre kupitam prabhum. Brahma said, "Oh Prahlad, it is only because of you the Lord has arrived here to punish your father and to show his affection for you, he has come. If it was not for you, he would not have come, Narasimha. Therefore, Brahma was pushing him, you go now." Prabhupada is saying, pushing a child in lion's cage, he is saying. This 5-year-old boy, the Lord may be compassionate upon him, and for him he has appeared. So let him be engaged in pacifying the Lord. Like that Brahma sent Prahlad. And then, but Prahlad had no fear to sit near the Lord. Yeah, he went and offered his obeisances to Lord Narasimha. I am under the shelter of Lord. So that is the next verse. Swapadamulam patitam tamarbakam vilokya deva kripaya pariplutaha uttapya tatshishni adadat karambhujam kalargi vitrasta kriya kritabhayam dhyam kritabhayam. He says that when Lord kept his hand on Prahlad, uh, Lord felt bliss and his heart erupted with ecstasy. Generally, devotee, we feel bliss, but Lord felt bliss when he saw the devotee. Yeah? Such a 5-year-old small child is coming and offering me obeisances, such a pure devotee. He didn't want anything. Huh? So, see, Prabhupada is saying here, Jnane prayasa madhupasya. You should not think yourself you are very advanced. By my speculative knowledge, I can understand God. No, it's a mistake. You may be learned, you may be rich, but all these things only make one proud. Lord cannot be attracted by a proud person. Prabhupada is saying, puffed up people cannot see him. But when one becomes humble, then the Lord reveals himself like Prahlada. Even one has taken sannyas, he should remain always humble. So never we should think, I have become a very big personality. That was the instruction of my Guru Maharaj. That Bada Vaishnava, I have become big Vaishnava. Everyone should come and obey my orders. This is condemned position. The real position is that one should be very humble and meek. Very proper. And then Prabhupada is saying simplicity is useful in Krishna consciousness. He did not know the sophistry or formality to become unnecessarily very prestigious. Prahlad was simple. He was by nature a small boy. If you insult, he doesn't care for it because he's a child. Or if you praise him, he does not think himself very puffed up. Prahlad Maharaj was in that position. His father wanted to chastise him in so many ways. He thought, is my father is joking, that's all. He thought like that. Prahlad, that is his simplicity. If it was somebody else, they will get insulted. So, therefore Brahma saluted him, my dear Prahlad, my dear child, please approach the Lord. You can try to pacify him. So, no one can accept the Lord in peace or anger, Prabhupada is saying. No, nothing. See, here you find Vaishnava is ready to pray, not only for his parents, but for all. Prahlad is praying for everybody. The whole world. There is one verse in the Bhagavatam where Prahlad is praying for all of us. You will find that. You recite that verse. And this is a very important verse it is. Today is very auspicious to recite this. Let's pray to Lord Narasimha. Swastyastu vishwasya kala prasidatam Jyayantu bhutani shivam mithodhiya Manascha bhadram bhajatat adhokshaje Aveshyatam no matirapya haituki. This is Prahlad is praying. Read the translation, please. One of you. Have the mic with you. Take this.
May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him.
Yeah, beautiful. All of you can repeat this. May there be good fortune throughout the universe. And may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. Prahlada is saying, once you become a serious devotee, you always think of others' welfare. You don't even talk ill of others. What to speak of doing bad for others? You don't even talk ill of other living beings. You see them with a sympathetic eye. So like this, Prahlada is praying. The Vaishnava is ready to pray not only for his parents, but for everybody. He's a paradukha dukhi. And the Prabhupada is saying, why can't God become angry? God must have everything. He's Purnam. Purnamada Purnamidam, he's saying. Therefore, anger comes from God, Janmadhyasya yataha. But his anger is also auspicious. Yeah. So result of Krishna's anger and result of Krishna's peacefulness is same, Prabhupada is saying. So, because even Krishna's anger is liberating anger. Chateti shanakailajan महाभागवतोर्बकः उपेत्य भुवि कायेन ननाम विदृतांजलिः. At that time, Rajan Parikshit, Tateti Shanakai Rajan. Actually, this is not Parikshit, this is Yudhishthir Maharaj to whom Narada is speaking. Narada is telling, at that time, slowly the Mahabhagavat child, Prahlada, he gradually climbed up the steps and went very close to Lord Narasimha. Upetya bhuvikayena. Nanama means he fell flat on the ground offering obeisances to Lord Narasimha. Anjali means when he put both the hands together like this, folding his palms, he was offering obeisances. So here Prabhupada is saying, even Mahabhagavat has to accept Guru. Prahlad Maharaj is Mahabhagavat, but he had a Guru Narada also. So everybody has to accept a Guru, he's saying. And Mahabhagavat never forget Krishna, even in trials. Always remember. Prabhupada says, although he's a 5-year-old boy, still he is Mahabhagavat. Anybody can be Mahabhagavat in any stage. He's saying there's no limitation for that. Haridasa Guru was born in a Yavana family, still he became Mahabhagavat. He's saying. So who can become Mahajan? It is simply you have to become serious to follow the path of Mahajan. And then you can, everyone, see Prabhupada is saying, if you follow the Mahajan's path, then everyone can become Mahajan. Saying. This will never fall down. Prahlad Maharaj isn't this, he doesn't fall down. He comes to deliver the other millions and millions of living entities. And Prahlad Maharaj doesn't see who is friend, who is enemy. He wants to liberate everybody. Because all jivas are dear to him. It's an eternal state of Lord Narasimha. Prabhupada is saying, what is not devotion? So many persons come in the temple for some material benefit. They surrender to the saintly person for some material benefit. Give me Ashirvad, benediction, is asking. I have got, what benediction? I have got 10,000 rupees, make it 1 lakh. Saying. Yeah. Child Mahabhagavata and scholar demon, they say. Purpose. So many things Prabhupada says. In one lecture, all this is like that, many lectures he has given. This is a famous verse I told you. We all will repeat. Swapadamole patitam tamarbakam vilokya deva kripaya pariplutaha uttapya tatshirshni adadat karambujam kalagi vitrasta dhyam krita bhayam. Just like we are sometimes extraordinarily happy or pleased when a small child offers obeisances. So, even in this world, if some child comes and touches the feet, anybody will be touched in the heart. Lord also has emotions, spiritual emotions. So, therefore, Krishna advises, Prabhupada says, if you cannot do anything, you do these four things. Manmana, Bhavamad Bhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. At least do this. Krishna will become very pleased. If you just come to the temple, bow down before the deities, sit and join the kirtan, you can please Krishna very easily. Not a big deal. Prabhupada is saying here, see, if you simply offer your obeisances before the deity, you make progress. Undoubtedly. In the Bhakti-Rasam Sindhu, you will find that the worshipping method, come to temple, offer obeisances, just like these boys. They are playing mridangas, they are playing cymbals, kathas, dancing. Every item is taken into account. Not that it is going futile. No. That is Krishna consciousness. That is Bhakti Marga. Salpam apyasya dharmasya. Foolish person, they do not care. But they think they are very much advanced. They have no need to attend arati or to play on the mridanga. Simple. But so many items are there given by acharyas. If you cannot do this, do this. If you can't do that, do this, like that. The Archana Marga. So Prabhupada is saying we are opening temples for this purpose. Nobody can do proper meditation. So in this way, one has to take to Bhakti Yoga. See, Prabhupada is saying, these children who are here, even if they do imitation, it will not go in vain. Somebody is clapping hands, singing or bowing down. Some may think that these boys are brought here and their life is being spoiled. They are not being educated in the modern way. They are simply chanting, dancing, etc. So Prabhupada is saying, don't be disturbed that my child is not being educated. What is education? The education, bodily concept. So Prabhupada is condemning modern day atheistic education versus glorifying the Vedic education. Yeah, read that one. Our eyes.
Our eyes versus Lord's eyes. The Mayavadi, they say God has no eyes. But here it is said, Vilokya.
See, Lord is saying. Yeah.
How you can say without eyes? He can see, but his seeing is different. Pashyatu achakshu. He has no eyes like us. What is the value of our eyes? As soon as there is no light, you cannot see. But Krishna can see always. Either there is light or not. That is the difference. Therefore, when in the Vedas it is said that he has no eyes, means he has no material eyes, which is limited. So here it is said Vilokya. Just like we are offering obeisances, the children are offering obeisances to the Lord. Don't think that here is deity made of metal. How he can see? No, this is rascaldom. He can see. That is his eyes. Either you present him in material element or in any way, he can see in all circumstances. Therefore, it is called, just like in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Tadaham Ashnami, I eat.
Actually, to understand this, one should study the Chatushlaki Bhagavatam. When you understand the Chatushlaki Bhagavatam clearly, you will see that there is nothing separate from Krishna. The mic is Krishna, table is Krishna, this asana is Krishna. Even our body is also expansion from Krishna's energy only. It's made of Panchamahabhut. And also the souls, all the souls are also part and parcel of Krishna only. That is why it is said, Yato va imani bhutani jayante. Yena jatani jivanti. Everything, even in the Shruti mantras, it is said, everything emerges from the Lord. Either something is Krishna's material energy, something is spiritual energy. And not only that, even in atom, the electrons cannot rotate unless the super soul is present. Any movement anywhere is made possible only due to presence of the Lord. Everything is happening by Lord's presence. So, if Lord is present in every atom, in every heart, in every nook and corner, why is He not present in the deity form? If He decides to make Himself appear as the deity, He can. Like from the pillar He came out. If somebody asks Narasimha, who are your parents? He came from pillar. And Varahadev came from the nose of Brahma. So if you ask Varahadev, who is your parent? He will say Brahma's nose. Isn't it? Lord can come from anywhere. So nobody can ask Him. One time on Narasimha Chaturdashi night, when Gopal Bhatta Goswami was about to go to sleep, he was thinking one rich man came and gave, outfits and jewelry to all the Goswamis in Vrindavan. So he also thought, how nice if I had a deity form. I only have Shaligram Shilas, round Shilas. I can't put the deities. I can't put the dress. He was thinking like that. At that time, the next morning when he got up from one of the Shaligram Shilas, Lord Radha Raman had come up. The Radha Raman deity had come up from one of the Shaligram Shilas. That was like a miracle, no? Then Gopal Bhatta Goswami became so pleased. Some scientists even researched whether is it the same stone from which deity has come or they have made up something. They found it's the same. Found out. Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. सब लोग बोले जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, even from a Shaligram, God manifested His beautiful form. Radharaman is beautiful eyes, very famous deity in Vrindavan. So, in this way, the Lord can manifest Himself from anywhere He wishes and He can accept the devotion of His devotee. So, proposing, as soon as you come to Krishna, you have no more fear. Saying, to become a devotee or favorite to Supreme Lord is very easy, Prabhupada is saying. How? It's not all difficult. Here you see, Prahlada Maharaj, a 5-year-old boy, he is a devotee. He only knows the Supreme Lord and he offered obeisances. That is his qualification. Where is the difficulty? Prabhupada is asking. Oh, here is an innocent child. He has been harassed by his father so much. Now he is offering obeisances unto me. Look, Devaha, Kripaya Paripluta. He became very much melted with mercy. So don't think that God has no feeling, thinking. Everything is there. Unless he has got some sympathetic feeling in him, where we have got it? He's asking. So originally it comes from Krishna, such Bhakta Vatsalyada. Here is a nice child, so Lord Narasimha Deva. He became Pariplataha. How innocent this child is. My dear child, get up. So the boy was bewildered. Such a big murti came from the pillar. The columns and the father, gigantic father is dead. Naturally, he is little disturbed in mind. So therefore, Vidrastakrita Abhayam. My dear child, don't be afraid. Everything is all right. I am present. There is no fear. Be pacified, like the Lord is saying. I will give you protection. So this is the exchange. No need of becoming a very learned man, Vedantist. Simply these things are required. You become innocent and accept the Supreme. Deity can made of any metal, but ultimately it's Krishna. So in this way, Prabhupada speaks very nicely on these verses. This much only I made notes, Prabhupada lecture. Then after that, we can see the Prahlada's prayers. So we recited these verses. So this chapter, Prahlada's prayers, is an amazing chapter it is. And this is a very, very important verse. You can recite this verse. Astaushit Harimegagra Manasasu Samahitaha Prema Gadgadaya Vacha Tanyasta Hridaye Kshanaha. Read the translation.
Prahlad Maharaj fixed his mind and sight upon Lord Narasimha Dev with full attention in complete trance. With a fixed mind, he began to offer prayers in love with a faltering voice.
See, with a fixed mind, so samahita, with a faltering voice, with devotion, he offered. Is the purport?
The word susamahitaha means very attentive or fully fixed. The ability to fix the mind in this way is a result of yoga siddhi, mystic perfection. As it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, dhyana vastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yoginah. One attains yogic perfection when he is freed from all material diversions and his mind is fixed upon the lotus feet of the Lord. This is called samadhi or trance. Prahlad Maharaj attained that stage beyond the senses. Because he was engaged in service, he felt transcendently situated, and naturally his mind and attention became saturated in transcendence. In that condition, he began to offer his prayers as follows.
This is very, very important. See, prayers are not just spoken with the mouth. You need the mind and heart along with that. See, here he says, the ability to fix the mind in this way is a result of yoga siddhi. He has performed such bhakti that now he is able to, in a one-pointed way, fix his attention on the Lord. And then he's saying that all material diversions were driven away. Because one-pointed. Actually, one of the ways to empty the mind of all other material distractions and thoughts is to bring our attention to three very important things. If one is able to, you can remember the very simple formula, BRS, you can remember. If one is able to beg for the mercy of the Lord, if one is able to be repentant while approaching the Lord, if one is able to seek refuge and shelter in the Lord, these three things have an ability to completely take your mind away from all distractions. It can empty the mind of all that is material. then you can come in the presence of the Lord very easily. Let us give an example. Like Indra was repenting after the Govardhan Leela, correct, no? And there is Ajamila's repentance. You will see that Ajamila's repentances. I will show you Ajamila, how he repented. It's very heart-melting repentance. Why it's not connecting? Yeah.
Thank you for saving my life.
इंद्रियों का दास बन कितना गिर गया मैं अपने ऊंचे पद से टूट पाप में घिर गया मैं नरक ही था भाग्य मेरा
His Brahminical life, how he was a good Brahmin, born in a good family, performing all virtuous sandhya and everything, all the activities. And from that position, I went to forest and I saw dirty side. And then I got into sinful life. That's the first thing he thought. And he was shedding tears that how I fell down from that position. And then second thing is thinking about Narakhi Bhagyata Mera. He's saying that because of that sinful life, the consequence of that sinful life is that Yamadutas came. Now he's remembering them in his mind. See that those
पर अनजाने जप लिया मैंने आपका पावन नाम दूत भेज कर आपने प्रभु मुझ पतित को बचाया कैसी असीम दया आपकी जीवन नव दिलाया नारायण नारायण
and he was almost out of the body. At that time, the Vishnudutas came. Then he's remembering the Vishnudutas, how they came and cut the Yamapash, and how they saved me, gave me a second chance. Now it's all because of Lord Narayana's arrangement. So finally thought of Lord Narayan, and then that remained in his mind. How to contemplate in one's life. So this is a very, very powerful.
Because of a moment's association with the Vishnu Dutas,
Ajamil detached himself from the material conception of life with determination, and he immediately started for Haridwar.
और पूजा को मैं भूल गया। मानव जीवन जो आत्मज्ञान के लिए मिला था, अज्ञान में
mind becomes completely empty. You have no other thoughts. And similarly, one is able to beg for the mercy of the Lord. Actually, you can see how the beggars beg sometimes for coin or food. Similarly, one is able to, in a frightened state, one seeks shelter. Like when you're hungry, you need food. When you're thirsty, you need water. Similarly, when somebody has given you loan and they are behind you, they want to beat you up, then you go to somebody for shelter, refuge. You take the money and give. Similarly, when a jiva can seek shelter, understanding his precarious position in the world, that time also no other thought will come in the mind other than your immediate safety from the world. Actually, the stray thoughts and distractions all come in the mind because we are in an ignorant position about our predicament. So in this way, now you have to want.
उससे व्यर्थ कर दिया। तुम्हारा पवित्र नाम ही मेरा सहारा। जो आत्मज्ञान के लिए मिला था, अज्ञान में पढ़कर मैंने उसे व्यर्थ कर दिया। अब तो तुम्हारा पवित्र नाम ही मेरा सहारा है। हे नारायण मुझे शुद्ध करो, यही मेरी पुकार है। मुझे अपने धाम में ले चलो प्रभु दयामय, जहाँ सदा तुम्हारी सेवा में मेरा सच्चा घर है। नारायण 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 नारायण।
So Susamahita means very attentive and fully fixed. Prahlada Maharaj attained that state, Prabhupada is saying, beyond the senses. His mind was fixed upon the lotus feet of the Lord in samadhi. Because he was engaged in seva, he felt transcendently situated. Naturally, his mind and attention became saturated in transcendence. In that condition, he began to offer his prayers. Now he is offering now. On the order of Brahma, please repeat this. Shri Prahlada Vacha Brahmadaya Suragana Munayotha Siddhaha Satpaikata Nagatayo Vachasam Pravahaihi Naradhitum Purgunai Radhunapi Pipruhu Kim Toshtumarghati Same Harirugrajate. Read that.
Prahlad Maharaj prayed, "How is it possible for me, who have been born in a family of asuras, to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and all the saintly persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words. Although such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness, then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified."
He is saying, you qualified personalities like Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Vayu, with Sanskrit poetry, Raschand, Alankar and all, they know. They recite Sanskrit very fluently. They cannot satisfy the Lord. How can somebody like me, I am born in a Ugra Jati, he is saying. born in a demoniac family. See, this is very important. You may be highly qualified. There are many qualifications of Prahlada also. It is said, Mana Stamba Vivarjita, it is said. He was free from the false pride arising from Vidya, Rupa, Janma, Adhyo, it is said. So he was born in a family where the father was king of all the three worlds. And he was very learned also. And he had a very handsome form. His bodily beauty, his wealth, his education, and being a Yuvraj, son of. But he never considered these things. He only considered one thing. I am born in a Ugra Jati. I am not like a Devata Jati. I am not. He was thinking Devatas are all in Sattva Guna. And we people are in Rajaguna, Tamaguna. And Devatas are dear to Lord. And the Asuras are opposed to Lord. In Asura Parivar. And Devatas align with the Lord. And Asura Parivar, it's a nature of the Asura Parivar that they act independent of the Lord. So he considered his birth to be worst birth and demon blood flowing in his body. He actually genuinely thought, I am not qualified. Because Brahma has ordered me, I am standing in the front of the Lord. Like that he thought. Manye dhana bijana rupat pashrutaujas teja prabhava vala paurusha buddhi yogaha naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayuthapaya. Read the translation.
Prahlad Maharaj continued, one may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him.
This is one thing that gave him confidence. That although demigods are highly qualified, I am unqualified or underqualified. And they are asking me to offer worship to the Lord. So how will I be able to please the Lord? Is there any scope for me to please him? Then he considered the example of Gajendra. He said Gajendra was elephant. He offered a flower affectionately Lord. He wasn't having any big qualification. But Lord accepted it because Lord accepts very simple offerings also. So if one has some little bhakti with which one offers, Lord is ready to accept it. So I will put the best of my devotion, whatever I have, and I'll offer it. That was his plan. So if this idea didn't come, you would not have progressed. He saw that Lord is attracted to devotion. See the purport Prabhupada writes? Yeah.
The European and American devotees in Krishna consciousness movement are sometimes accepted as Brahmanas, but the so-called caste Brahmanas are very much envious of them. In answer to such envy, Prahlad Maharaj says that one who has been born in a Brahman family but is falsely proud of his prestigious position cannot even purify himself, not to speak of his family. Whereas if a Chandala, a low-born person, is a devotee and has fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord, he can purify his entire family.
Yeah. Many people in America, they have brought their mother, father, brother, sister into Krishna consciousness. You will see that many of the Maharajas in ISKCON, their mothers and all have started coming to 16 Ram chanting. Although they are completely new to the culture of India, they have delivered, like His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj, in his family alone, there are more than a dozen devotees. His sister, his mother, father, brother, they have taken initiation from him only, many of them. So you will find that when one becomes a Vaishnava devotee, they can deliver their whole family, 21 generations. On the other hand, somebody is a Brahmana with 12 qualities and proud of his qualities, but is a non-devotee, he is good for nothing. Therefore, there are many verses which say, षट्karma nipuno vipro mantratantra visharadaka avaishtavo guru nasyat vaishnavo shapacho guru. If a Brahmana has 12 qualities, but he is not a Vaishnava devotee, he cannot be accepted as a guru, he says. On the other hand, a person born in a Chandala family, but he is a Vaishnava devotee, then he can be accepted as a guru. He says like that. There is another verse which says, Shuchihaya Muchi, Yadi Krishna Tyaje, he says. And then Muchihaya Shuchi, Yadi Krishna Bhaje, it said. If a cobbler glorifies Krishna, chants Krishna's names, he becomes, a Brahman or a Vaishnava. On the other hand, a Brahman doesn't chant Krishna's names, he is like a cobbler, he says. Like that, there are many verses. That's what Prabhu is saying. Many Americans, Europeans have delivered their whole family. Naiva Atmana Prabharayam Nijalabha Purna Manam Janada Vidushak Karuno Vrinite Yad Jano Bhagavate Vidadhita Manam Tachatmane Pratimukhasya Yatha Mukhashri.
The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always fully satisfied in himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering, by the Lord's mercy, is for the benefit of the devotee. For the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in a mirror is also seen to be decorated.
Yeah. He says, if anyone does any little service to Lord, that person rendering service, he gets benediction. This is coming in the 5th canto, 3rd chapter also. The Brahmanas are telling, the Brahmanas devotees, they are telling Lord Vishnu that, my dear Lord, many bhaktas come and offer you small things, and in return they get big things. You've seen some Matajis offering lamps, you've seen, no? Husband, wife, they come and offer lamp. Sometimes they offer a flower or a fruit. It's not very costly. With little devotion they offer, and Brahmanas are telling, in return what they get. There are people, somebody wants a house, they get a house. Somebody wants a heaven, they get heaven. Somebody wants siddhis, they get siddhis. Somebody wants mukti, they get mukti. Somebody wants bhakti, they get bhakti. Somebody want to go back to Godhead, they go back to Godhead. Somebody want to nullify all the sinful reactions, they can, Krishna says, aham tvam sarupapebhyo. He can remove them from sinful reactions. Somebody want to become free from fear, they become free from fear. So, the benedictions received by the devotee is huge, although the offerings they give for the Lord is very little. Say you take one lota of water and add to Ganga, is Ganga benefiting from you? Or you take away one water and run away from Ganga, is Ganga losing anything? No. Lord is so great. Lord doesn't need anything. You can't favor him, you can't threaten him, and you can't create any laws for him. So Lord is oceanically powerful. So here it says, gives an example. In a mirror, if you have a pratibimba coming, you put bindi here, bindi comes there. You put earring, earring comes there. Whatever you put here, it comes. Similarly, we are all reflections of Krishna, tiny reflections. If Lord is pleased, we get benedictions. Read that, service of.
This service of glorifying the Lord by hearing, chanting, and so on is not, of course, meant for the benefit of the Lord. This devotional service is recommended for the benefit of the devotee. The Lord is always glorious, whether the devotee glorifies him or not. But
Whether you glorify him or not, he is always glorious. Yeah.
But if the devotee engages in glorifying the Lord, the devotee himself automatically becomes glorious.
Yeah. You see, sometimes people ask, hey, why God just chant his names? I think you want some followers. Actually, God can create millions and millions of universes. Actually, he doesn't need anything from anybody. In fact, we say Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purna, Purnamudachite. Full units are coming from him. And Lakshmi Sahasra Shata. Sahasra means how much? 1,000. Shata means hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis are serving him. It's not that without our service, Lord will have any problem. He has a lot of people after him for serving. Just like sometimes a rich man comes out of his house and there are 24 cars waiting for him. One car is a huge car to take the whole family. Another car is a topless car, you can go to the beach. Another car is a small car which can go fastly to office. He may take that car and drive himself and go sometimes. So all the car drivers, they come to the Jamindar owner and say, sir, you want to come in this car? Or you want to come in my car? They are asking. Everybody is saluting him and inviting him to come in their car. Not in their car, it is Malik's car only, but they are inviting. In the same manner, all the Shaktis are eager to serve the Lord. They're coming, please come, my dear Lord, please come, they're inviting. So Lord, but then why are we serving? If you serve, you benefit. One time, one father appointed one maths teacher to teach a boy. The boy was doing mathematics for 2-3 months and he saw his father was giving some salary to the teacher. The boy said, I did all maths and you're giving money to teacher. He was asking. Father said, if teacher is not there, you won't do the mathematics. Is it not true? Similarly, the living entity thinks, I have done something for God. See, whatever you do, you are taking God's thing and giving it to God. That's why we say, Tera tujko arpan. Kya lage mera? We say, no? Because we take Lord's commodity and offer it to Him. Just like a child, sometimes father lifts a child on his shoulder. A child puts his hand and takes out some currency note, jumps off, and then he goes to market and buys a cake and gives to father. Papa, today is a birthday. Father doesn't say, hey, you took money from my pocket and giving me a cake. What have you brought? He doesn't say that. We use Lord's money to give him something. So we are not favoring him. We stand to gain by going to him. That's Prahlada's point. So the second section, you see here, giving up all shelters. Here Prahlada is thoroughly showing in this world there are no material shelters which are safe in this world, and the only safest shelter is Krishna's lotus feet. First, he has not yet started offering prayer. Just now he is just contemplating. Tasmadaham vikata viklava ishwarasya sarvatmana mahi grinami yatha manisham नीचोदया गुण विसर्गमनु प्रविष्टः पूयेत येन हि पुमान् अनुवर्णितेन.
Therefore, although I was born in a demoniac family, I may without a doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor, as far as my intelligence allows. Anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of material life if he offers prayers to the Lord and hear the Lord's glories.
Yeah. So, Tasmadaham Vigata Viklav, he says that let me give up my shyness and come forward and offer, because golden opportunity has come. And if I say no to this opportunity, it may not come again. So let me take advantage of this. And what is the advantage for me? If I glorify the Lord, I will become purified. One time, my spiritual master was leaving from Govardhanako village to Chowpatty. In the car, in the front, Maharaj was sitting behind it. Two of us were sitting. There was one more seat available, empty. So the senior devotee told one devotee, Prabhu, you want to come with us? So he was very shy. He said, Prabhuji, Maharaj is there. How can I sit? Maharaj is there, that's why we are telling you. If you sit, you can get the advantage. Maharaj may share some things you can hear. He was initially hesitant. But then after the car left, he was telling other devotees, now I feel like going now. Is it possible? You lost the opportunity, correct, no? So sometimes certain opportunities come in your life. If you are too hesitant, you lose the opportunity. Later on, he was calling us and asking, Maharaj, what did he speak in the car? What all he said? Correct, no? So he had an opportunity to go to temple with him. Later on, he came by bus. So here also Prahlada thought that, born in Asura family, to have such an opportunity to go so close to the Lord and praise Him, this is not an ordinary thing. And Brahma is giving, I have no qualification. On one hand, he is facing a tug of war. See, in that song we sing, there is a song. Lalita Vishakayadi Yata Sakhi Vrinda Lalita Vishakayadi Ajnaya Toriva Seva Charanaravinda Shama Gauri Ange Deva Chandane Robanda Kamaradulava Kave Teri Mukha Chandra Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jivane Marane Gati Arnagimo See here, amazingly, Narasimha Thakur is saying, Lalita Vishaka Adhyata. I will stand next to Lalita and Vishaka and I will give them one item, agarbatti or lamp or all the items I will give and they will offer it. Why? Because I am unqualified. Directly I cannot offer. But then later on he says, when will the time come when I can see the beautiful dark and fair faces of Shyama and Gauri and I can apply chandan on their forehead and I can take a chamara and, do service to them. Somebody may ask, hey, you said you are unqualified, now you want to serve directly. So this is the tug of war that goes in the heart of the devotee. Devotee has the desire to do service directly, but devotee feels utterly unqualified. And also we should know, even when the devotee serves directly, it includes the blessing of the spiritual master. It is not that he overrides the guru and does something independently. So in this way, the desire of the devotee for direct service is not condemned in the Vaishnava literatures. Here also Prahlada is getting an opportunity. He is told by Brahma, the chief of all the demigods. So now he decided to offer prayers now. Have you read the translation?
Yeah.
Purport?
But it is clearly understood that a devotee does not need to be born in a very high family to be rich, to be aristocratic, or to be very beautiful. None of these qualifications will engage one in devotional service.
Yeah, Krishna doesn't say, I am Lakshmipati, all my devotees should be at least Crorepati. He doesn't say that. Even the poorest of the poor can approach him. Correct, no? And Krishna is the most beautiful. Even the most ugly, ordinary, average human being can approach Krishna. All you need is, some element of devotion. One person who inspires me the most in this temple is one devotee who comes in the morning. I don't even know his name. One whose legs are not proper. He comes with a stick. Both hands in the morning, he'll be standing here in the front of the lady. You have seen that? Right now, another devotee. Actually, his body is having some deficiency, due to which his leg is bent and all that. It's not proper. But his ecstasy is more than the other devotees who have all proper body and senses. Correct, no? Isn't it? He feels so much ecstasy. Correct, no? And he's very respectful to all the devotees also. So, if anyone has that element of bhakti, even a drop of it, they already are a grand success. Because everything else is secondary. You don't need other things. If you have, you give it. If you don't have, no need. But the most important thing is the devotion. So that is that. Because if the most important thing is not there, other things are useless. In Gita, Krishna says that Bhaktya tvanannaya shakya ahamevam vidorjuna jnatum trashtum cha tatpena praveshtum cha parantapa bhaktya mam vijanati yavan yaschasmi tatpatah. And another verse he says, Naham vede na tapasa na danena na chejaya shakye vavido drashtam drishtavan sivam yata bhaktyatvananyaya shakya. He's saying that not by Vedas, Vedic study, not by tapasya, aham vede na tapasya na danena, not by charity. None of this. It doesn't mean you should not do these things. These things are accessories, additional, auxiliaries. You can add them, but most vital element is the element of devotion. Even to Uddhava, Krishna says in 11th canto, Uddhava Gita, Namam sadhaiti yogo na sankhyaṁ dharma uddhava na swadhyayas tapastyago yata bhaktir mamorjita. As much as bhakti inspires me, the other paths are not able to inspire me, he's saying. Yata bhaktir mamorjita. Naham naha namam sadhayati yogo na sankhyaṁ dharma uddhava. Like that he's saying. Na swadhyayas tapastyago. None of it can inspire me, he says. I read that.
With devotion, one should feel God is great and I am very small. Therefore, my duty is to offer my prayers to the Lord. Only on this basis can one understand and render service to the Lord.
But our Rupa Goswami Pad says in one Karpanya Panchika Stotram, he says, my dear Lord, you are Pandita Vara, I am Pamara, he says. And he says, you are the greatest, I am the smallest. And although I am insignificant in front of you, there are millions of jivas you have. But when I offer a chanting or a prayer, you attentively listen to me. And that is very amazing. Like that is admiring. So that mood is very important. And then that same verse is quoted, Bhaktyamam Vijanat, you see. Prahlada Maharaj is here to offer his best prayers without consideration of the material position. Sarve khyami vidikara stava satpadhamno Brahmadayo vayamiveshana chodvijantah Kshemaya bhutaya utatma sukhaya chasya Vikriditam bhagavato ruchiravatāraihi. Translation.
O my Lord, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma are sincere servants of your Lordship, who are situated in a transcendental position. Therefore, they are not like us, Prahlada and his father, the demon Hiranyakashipu. Your appearance in this fearsome form is your pastime for your own pleasure. Such an incarnation is always meant for the protection and improvement of the universe.
Yeah.
Prahlad Maharaj wanted to assert that his father and the other members of his family were all unfortunate because they were demoniac, whereas the devotees of the Lord are always fortunate because they are always ready to follow the orders of the Lord.
See, this is the mood of all Vaishnavas. Nimai Pandit used to say to Gadadhar Pandit, Gadadhar, right from your birth, you have been a pure devotee of Krishna. Look at me, I have always been doing Tarka Vitarka through Nyaya Shastra. You know, it took me so many years to meet Ishwarapuri and get initiation. And now I am feeling some attraction for Krishna, but you are not like me. You always have been a devotee. Like that he would say. Similarly, Haridas Thakur said, I am a Yavana. I don't deserve to enter the temple of Jagannath. So my dear Lord, give me some place in Puri somewhere where I can sit and chant. So the Lord gave in Siddhabakul, one place where Haridas Thakur was chanting. And one day Lord saw Sanatana Goswami was coming through he asked Sanatana Goswami, your feet are having boils. Why? Which route you came through? He said, I came through the ocean beach way. So very hot. He asked why? He said, if I go through the Simhadwaram, many pujaris of Jagannath are going and their body may touch my body and they may get putrefied because of my touch. So I wanted to keep away so that they will not get polluted by my touch, he said. So this is the mood everywhere you find, whether it is Sanatana Goswami or Haridas Thakur, Nimai Pandit, Vaishnavas, all his brothers feeling same thing. You know, Devatas are all more fortunate. Actually, we may generally think, oh, Devatas are mixed devotees, I am a pure devotee, we may think like that. He doesn't think like that. He thinks that Devatas are all always with the Lord and praising the Lord, assisting limbs of the Lord. And I am born in a demoniac family. So he is considering his disqualifications. So, Narasimha appeared for the protection of his devotee. And Prabhupada is saying, the Vasim and Narasimha are certainly not meant to create fearful situation for the devotees, but nonetheless the devotees being very simple and faithful, the Devatas are afraid of the fierce incarnation of the Lord, he says. Sadyachamanyam Asurascha hatastvayadya modeta sadhurapi vrishchika sarpahatya lokascha nirvritimita pratiyanti sarve rupam nrisimha vivayaya jana smaranti.
My Lord Narasimha
Yeah.
Dev, please, therefore, cease your anger now that my father, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, has been killed. Since even saintly persons take pleasure in the killing of a scorpion or a snake, all the worlds have achieved great satisfaction because of the death of this demon. Now they are confident of their happiness and they will always remember your auspicious incarnation in order to be free from fear.
Yeah. So he is telling him, now your job is done. Hiranyakashipu is finished. You have nothing to be angry about now. Huh? Purport?
The most important point in this verse is that although saintly persons never desire the killing of any living entity, they take pleasure in the killing of envious living entities like snakes and scorpions. Hiranyakashipu was killed because he was worse than a snake or a scorpion, and therefore everyone was happy. Now there was no need for the Lord to be angry. The devotees can always remember the form of Narasimhadev when they are in danger, and therefore the appearance of Narasimhadev was not at all inauspicious. The Lord's appearance is always worshipable and auspicious for all the sane persons and devotees.
Yeah. Like sometimes there is a person who is posted somewhere and he's a die-hard atheist and he doesn't allow any devotional activities. Yeah? He's always putting taunts on the way. So when he gets transferred, devotees feel very happy. Thank God, at last he's transferred now. And the new person has come is more favorable and he is allowing Rath Yatra, he is allowing, Harinam Sankirtan and distribution of books, prasadam distribution, and he himself comes and takes part. Like in there is one Roper, there is an IIT, Roper. I'd gone there, so I gave a lecture also. So that director is such a wonderful personality. He comes for Janmashtami, he comes for Rath Yatra, he himself does Kirtan. He is very favorable and friendly. And because of that, all professors, teachers, students, everybody, all the families, children, everybody is able to take advantage. So sometimes, on the other hand, there is one college, I don't want to mention the name, the top man is a private college, he started. And they have practically swimming pool, they have tennis ball courts, football courts, huge library, and lavish facilities for the boys, girls. And he promotes sense gratification. Eat, drink, and be merry. Smoke, drink. Life is meant for just enjoyment. Enjoy. I heard that in 1 year, 14 people committed suicide. But he has control over the newspapers. So he suppresses. He doesn't allow them to be published. If any newspaper publishes it, the paper will be closed down. He has that type of power. So he is promoting materialism, and the materialism is leading to the students losing their life. But that doesn't come out many times. You can see like that. So Hiranyakashipu, it's not that he was there a million years ago. Even now, many Hiranyakashipus are there. But they may be doing things in a smaller way. Correct, no? They may not be able to do a big way. So therefore, if some atrocious person is out of the scene and he is unable to propagate any more atrocious culture, the devotees feel very happy. Yeah. Like Mr. Yan was giving a big trouble. Actually, Mr. Yan, what he did in Bombay was, he had already cheated 3 people by selling the same property to 3 different people. And those people had lost the money. And the 4th person he wanted to sell was Prabhupada. When Prabhupada is very shrewd, very smart, Hyderabad only Prabhupada did the deal with him. He had come with his Guruji. So Prabhupada had to do the business deal with him. After the Guruji went to sleep, Prabhupada woke up, Mr. N, come here. And then he did the deal with him. Mr. N tried to cheat ISKCON also, but he couldn't cheat. In fact, he had arranged, he had one newspaper where he blasphemed about ISKCON. He sent gundas with chain and soda bottle to beat up the devotees, American devotees. Matajis who are wearing sari, American ladies, they are pulling the sari also. So when Prabhupada heard the news, Prabhupada told the devotees, you take help of the local leaders and everybody. Many of the Hindu leaders, local leaders helped. So the Juhu property came to ISKCON with great difficulty, but Mr. N was already cheated 3 people and he wanted to cheat Prabhupada. He couldn't cheat Prabhupada. Rather, he was finished. In that period of time, he lost his life also. That time, devotees were very happy that Krishna has taken him off because he was atrocious, troubling and beating him. And he was sending out flyers, cooking up many things about. Basically, his idea was to drive out the devotees. So that's why here he says the devotees can always remember the form of Narasimha Dev when they are in danger. And therefore, the appearance of Narasimha Dev was not at all inauspicious. So, one time Prabhupada saw Bhaktivinoda Thakur was instructing disciples, kill that serpent, he had told to somewhere. So Prabhupada was Abhay Babu, that time he wondered why Swamiji is telling to kill the serpent. So later on he understood that the serpent bites people without any reason. Sarpa krura kala krura, it is said. Krura sarpataroyata. It is said that there are 2 envious people, envious snake and envious human. Out of the 2, envious human is more dangerous. But envious snakes also have a tendency to bite. So, therefore, when Prabhupada understood the reason, then he got this quote, Modeta sadhurapi vrishchika sarpahatya. Like I used to ask my father also during Diwali. Once I asked him, why do we celebrate Diwali? He said, Narakasura died today, so we celebrate. I had a question, how can we celebrate somebody's death? Birthday we can celebrate. So then he told me, he was not an ordinary man. I was too young to understand. He said he was a trouble creator, he was telling. He was a trouble creator for everybody. So when he died, Krishna finished him, Narakasura's Bhamasur. When he was finished, everybody was happy. So after that, the Brahmanas could not till then chant. Then they could chant Vedic mantras and everything. Naham bivemya chitareti bhayanakasya Jihvarkanetra bhruguti rabashogradanstrat Antrasraja kshatajake shanku karnan Nirhrada bhita digibhat aribhil nakhagrat. Yeah.
My Lord, who are never conquered by anyone, I am certainly not afraid of your ferocious mouth and tongue, your eyes bright like the sun, or your frowning eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp pinching teeth, your garland of intestines, your mane soaked with blood, or your high wedge-like ears. Nor do I fear your tumultuous roaring, which makes elephants flee to distant places, or your nails, which are meant to kill your enemies.
Purport?
Lord Narasimhadeva's fierce appearance was certainly most dangerous for the non-devotees, but for Prahlad Maharaj, such a fearful appearance was not at all disturbing. Example, the lion is very fearsome for other animals, but its cubs are not at all afraid of the lion.
So Lord and the devotee are of true same nature. Both are Sachidananda Swarupam, both are embodiment of love, both are well-wishers of everybody. So they match very well. Only difference is Lord is great and devotee is small. Like I was telling you the other day, in Ahmedabad when I asked father, what's your name? He said, I'm Patel. I asked the son, what is your name? He said, I'm also Patel. He said. Then you understood he is a senior Patel, junior Patel. Right, no? Similarly, Lord is Paramatma, Jiva is Jivatma. Lord is Parabrahman and we are Brahman. So both have similar qualities. So devotee has no fear of the Lord in any such form. Yeah.
The water of the sea is certainly grateful for all the living entities on the land, but within the sea, even the small fish is unafraid. Why? Because the small fish has taken shelter of the big ocean. It is said that although great elephants are taken away by the flooding waters of the river, the small fish swim opposite to the current.
Amazing, no? Sometimes when an elephant enters the river, fastly flowing Ganga river, sometimes it's toppled and it is rolled and taken away. Whereas the fishes can move upstream, downstream, side stream, anywhere they can go because they have taken shelter of the river. Similarly, Prahlada is compared to that, and Hiranyakashipu is compared to elephant. Hiranyakashipu was defeated by the Lord, but Prahlad was kept on the lap by the Lord and exchanged love. Trastosmyaham kripana vasala dussahogra samsara chakra kadanat grasatam pranitah baddhasva karma virushattamate moolam प्रीतोपवर्ग शरणं भयसे कदानु.
O most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditioned life?
Yeah. So, earlier verse was what he is not afraid of. Now he is saying what is he afraid of. He is saying, I have been put in the association of demons as a result of my activities. Which means the demons would speak things which Prahlada could not tolerate. Like one of the videos we were saying, Prahlada was telling the holy name is very sweet. So his demon friend was asking, Manusha ka maans khaya nahi aapne? He was asking, have you not eaten the sweet flesh of a human being? And then immediately Prahlada closed his eyes, Hari, Hari, he was telling. So you can see that the demons, their eating habits, their recreation, all were very dangerous. But he says that I was surrounded by demons who are always atheistic and who are sense gratifiers. And he wanted to refrain from such bad association and be in the lotus feet of the Lord. Read that, Prabhu.
Being in the material world is certainly miserable, but certainly when one is put into the association of asuras or atheistic men, it is intolerably so. One may ask why the living entity is put into the material world. Indeed, sometimes foolish people derive the Lord for having put them here. Actually, everyone is put into conditional life according to his karma. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, representing all the other conditioned souls, admits that he was put into life among the asuras because of the result of his karma.
Yeah, third line he says, Baddha Swakarma Bir. Swakarma Bir means what? My own karma has brought me here. Baddha Swakarma Bir Ushattama Tengri Moola. He is not blaming the Lord. Why have you put me in suffering? This suffering is something which I have invited myself by my actions, he is saying. Read that.
The Lord is known as Kripana Vatsal because he is extremely kind to the conditioned souls. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, therefore, the Lord appears whenever there are discrepancies in the execution of religious principles.
Yeah, the Lord is delivering all the conditioned souls. Either they will follow Sarvadharman Parityaja and then Lord accepts them, or they, they do Dharmasya Glani and Lord liberates them. Ultimately, Lord is coming in this world to share the teachings, perform the pastimes, all for the benefit of conditioned souls. And then?
Thus, Prahlad Maharaj expected that the Lord, by his kindness, would call him again to the shelter of his lotus feet. In other words, everyone should be eager to return home back to Godhead, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus being fully trained in Krishna
The
consciousness.
last line he said here, you see, in this verse, Pritopavarga Sharanam. Why I say Kadano, when will the time come you will call me to your lotus feet and keep me with you? Yasmat priya priya viyoga samyoga janma shokagnina sakala yonishu dahyamanaha dukkaushadam tadapi dukkamatadiyaham bhuman brahmami vadame tabadasya yogam. See, in this world, you want to contact pleasure, but you are made to contact pain. And you want to run away from, you want to run away from pain, you are brought in contact with pain. And you want to run behind pleasure, and the pleasure is, you are made to be separated from pleasure. That's the meaning of that. Yasmat, priya, apriya, Viyoga, Samyoga, Janma. Read this.
O Great One, O Supreme Lord, because of combination with pleasing and displeasing circumstances and because of separation from them, one is placed in a most regrettable position within heavenly or hellish planets, as if burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of miserable life, any such remedies in the material world are more miserable than the miseries themselves. Therefore, I think that the only remedy is to engage in your service. Kindly instruct me in such service.
Yeah. See, one couple, they got married and settled in Bangalore. But unfortunately, immediately within a week after the marriage, the husband got moved to Gurugram. In the job took him there. So the wife was telling, please apply, Bangalore has so many jobs, you can come. So he applied, and by the time he got the job in Bangalore, the week he was about to come to Bangalore, his wife got transferred to Calcutta. You know. So he came here and she had to go to another job. And they both were discussing whether she should go for the job or not. It was almost 1.5 times what she was earning before. So they could not say no also. So they were planning to move together, stay together, but they were separated. You will see like that. This is the way the world is. The priya, apriya, samyoga, viyoga. You want priya, but you are given apriya. You want samyoga, but you are given viyoga. He says, wherever you may be, whether you are in a rich life or a poor life. Like there are some rich people, they have big bungalow, car, everything facility, but their own desires tell them, send your children abroad, let them study in London, Oxford, or Cambridge. After the son, daughter go, they settle there, they lament here. Alas, now children are not at home. The home is so empty. So they want to be with children, but their own desires have driven the children away. And the children want to come back, but their greed for the wealth and the position and the comfort there doesn't allow them to come back. You understand what I'm saying? The material world is very complex in that way. Therefore, one more thing is saying about the remedy that Prabhupada will explain. Read that, Prabhupada.
Prahlad Maharaj aspired to engage in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. After the death of his father, who was materially very opulent, Prahlad would have inherited his father's property, which extended throughout the world. But Prahlad Maharaj was not inclined to accept such material opulence, for whether one is in heavenly or hellish planets, or is a rich or a poor man's son, material conditions are everywhere.
Material condition means you may be a rich man, doesn't mean you won't get old. You won't get disease. You won't die. Whether you are rich or poor, educated or uneducated, famous or infamous, who are big fellow or small fellow, everybody has to undergo material conditions, namely hunger, thirst, old age, disease, death, lamentation. I was thinking Dhruva Maharaj, he was son of the king of the world. But even in that large palace, where Uttanapad was living, there was weeping and crying going on because Dhruva Maharaj was not allowed to sit on the lap of his stepmother. You will see that even a king's son has to cry in this world.
If one wants the uncontaminated pleasure of blissful life, he must engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord.
Yeah.
Material,
Material opulence.
material opulence may be somewhat pleasing for the time being, but to come to that temporary pleasing condition, one must work extremely hard. When a poor man is rich, he may be better situated, but to come to that position, he had to accept many miseries.
Like for example, Prahlad gives example, the soldiers, they risk their life in the army. Similarly, the merchants who go in the ship, sometimes the whole ship may be toppled by Timingala or shark. So there is always danger. Similarly, somebody is a thief. He may be bitten by the dog, caught by the police, put behind the bars. So many people who work hard to make money, it's not an easy thing.
If one actually wants happy, blissful life, one must become Krishna conscious and constantly engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. That is the real remedy. The entire world is under the illusion that people will be happy by advancing in materialistic measures to counteract the miseries of conditional life. But this attempt will never be successful. Humanity must be trained to engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. That is the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement. There can be no happiness in changing one's material conditions, for everywhere there is trouble and misery.
Okay, let me give an example of changing material conditions. So, like for example, here he says here, see dukkha aushadam tadapi dukkham atadhyaham. The remedy to dukkha becomes a bigger problem, he says. Say, for example, earlier we had horse carriages. Any of you travel in horse carriage here? Anybody? See, one, two, three, four. Our 5 of us have experience. So they used to have a horse carriage. They will put this goni also. They used to have these grasses inside and put the goni. Very nice, fragrant, very comfortable also. And there are no accidents in the horse carriage. You'll never hear that. Just a horse running. If something comes, he'll stand only. He'll not run. Later on, man thought, why to have a horse carriage? Convert the horse carriage into horse power motor car. He changed it. Now, once he changed it to a motor car, then it started giving out pollution. And the pollution is depleting ozone layer, causing so many diseases. Pollution is causing terrible diseases, many people. Traffic jam, accidents, automobile accidents, many things. So, has man made life better by converting horse carriages into horsepower motor cars? Or he has made the life worse? That's the whole point. So he thought, I'm finding a remedy for a horse carriage, but the remedy gives more problem than before. That's what Prahlada is saying. Soham priyasya surda paradevataya Leela Katha Narasimha virincha Gita Anjastitarmyanugrinan guna vipramukto Durgani te padayugalaya hamsa sangaha. This is a very important verse it is. See, here he is saying, Priyasya means Madhurya ras. Suhrida means Sakya ras. Paradevataya means Dasya ras. So he's talking about the 5 rasas of the devotees with the Lord. Yeah, you can read this translation.
O my Lord Narasimha Dev, by engaging in your transcendental loving service in association of devotees who are liberated souls, Hamsas, I shall become completely uncontaminated by the association of the 3 modes of material nature and be able to chant the glories of your Lordship, who are so dear to me. I shall chant your glories following exactly in the footsteps of Lord Brahma and his disciplic succession. In this way, I shall undoubtedly be able to cross the ocean of nations.
Yeah. Here he says here, Soham Priyasya Surda Paradevataya Leela's Katha. How will I hear Leela Katha? From Virincha Gita in the Guru Parampara. Anja, very easily, Titarmi, I will cross over. Anugrinan, by their kripa of the Guru Parampara Acharyas, Guna Vipramukto, I will become free from the 3 gunas. Durganite, very great difficulties in life I will easily overcome. How? By taking shelter of Pada Yugalaya. Taking shelter of the lotus feet of Hamsa Sangha, of liberated persons. Read the purport.
A devotee's life and duty are very well explained herein. As soon as the devotee can chant the holy name and glories of the Supreme Lord, he certainly comes to the liberated position. Attachment for glorifying the Lord by hearing and chanting the holy name and activities of the Lord, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, certainly brings one to the position where material contamination is absent. One should chant the bona fide songs received from the disciplic succession. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the chanting is powerful when one follows the disciplic succession. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashyo viduhu. Manufacturing many ways of chanting will never be effective.
So one should not concoct anything. Simply follow the disciplic succession. Yeah.
This material world is miserable, regardless of one's standard of life. Of this, there is no doubt. Attempts to mitigate the miseries of material existence by material methods will never be successful.
Yeah, they're trying to mitigate material miseries by material methods. For example, it is too hot nowadays, they try to put air conditioner. Now, somebody may say, is air conditioner not a perfect solution? Why it is not? Because I went to an IT company, we were having a seminar on anger management. Suddenly, the air conditioner broke down. And they had no fan also. And they tried to open the windows. And everybody from top manager to bottom, everybody was miserable. They were all yelling and screaming at one another. So, our secretary was requesting them, sirs, please don't become angry because it's anger management seminar today. We are having the seminar only to pacify everybody. I think God has sent this test for all of you to check how angry you become. Correct, no? So, now everybody wanted to walk out. They could not sit in the seminar. Once you get used and addicted to AC, you will not be able to live without AC. Correct, no? It becomes like that. So, when you create a material solution, we want to go. First, the man thought walking is difficult, let's have a cycle. Then he thought cycling is also difficult, let us have a motorcycle. Correct, no? Motorcycle also goes slower, let us have a car. Now, once the car came, we wanted to make it more comfortable in the car, they started having a tape recorder to hear. And they made air conditioner in the car. Now they have TV also in the car. I don't think the driver will watch the TV. Behind people watch, I think. Isn't it? Yeah. So, more and more comfort they added in the car. Now you can push back, you can do so many things in the car. So, man is trying to make life more and more comfortable, and he wants to exercise his body lesser and lesser. So the body becomes like a rubber body. They walk like this. Correct? No? Because there is no movement of the body at all. So, in this material world, by the time you make little, it's like a painkiller. When more you increase the comforts, it's like giving a painkiller to a cancer patient. Is it a good idea? Cancer, if you cure, he can live 30, 40 years. But if you give painkiller in 2 years, he will die. So many people go for making life little more comfortable. One day they die not knowing where are they going. So Prahlada is saying here that, if you mitigate the miseries, you are forgetting the ultimate goal of life. You are forgetting about old age, disease, death, everything. Yeah. Ready?
One might say that becoming advanced in spiritual life also involves tapasya, voluntary acceptance of some inconvenience. However, such inconvenience is not as dangerous as material attempts to mitigate all miseries.
Yeah. In spiritually, tapasya, like waking up in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna, like fasting, or like worshipping the deity. This is not very dangerous like the kind of dangers that material life involves. He says, Balasya Negha Sharanam Pitaro Narasimha Nartasya Chagadamudanvati Majjato Nau Taptasya Tat Pratividir Jaihanja Seshthas Tavad Vibho Tanubritam Tvadupekshitanam.
My dear Narasimha Dev, O Supreme, because of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for by you cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child, a physician and medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient, and a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man.
One man in Pune had called me for installing Bhagavatam in his house. Unknown man. I don't know who he was. But phone call came and I accepted also. So when I went to his house, only he and his wife were there, and they have a small child who was sitting in the chair like this, very, very weak. Then I came to know that the child is only 8 years old. That is cancer. And the cancer is eating up the body. They are giving chemotherapy and all that they are trying. So he came to know, the doctor told that the child will live maximum for 1 week only. Going to leave the body. This man cried like anything, burst into tears when I went. Of course, it took me an hour sitting with him and pacifying him, saying many things from the scriptures. I think that is why he called me, I think. Along with Bhagavatam installation, he wanted to hear from some sadhu, something to pacify himself. So he said, this is the only child I have, and that only child God is taking away. So how cruel it is and everything. I told him that, every living entity born in this world, they have Alpayush or Madhyayush or Dirghayush. Alpayush means they die before 30. Madhyayush means they die before 60. Dirghayush, they live till 90 also, some people live. 90, 93, 95, 100 also some people live. So I told him that just like a tonic bottle has expiry date, your child's expiry date has come now. Because permanently this body will not be remaining. And I told him that you have done your part for the child, you spent for the medicine, you spent for the treatment. As a father, you have done your duty. Now God gave you the child, God has taken away the child. Don't worry. Now you chant, you take shelter of Krishna consciousness. I persuade him. Because that's what Prabhu is saying. Prahlada is saying here that Balasana Isha Sharanam Pitaru Narasimha. Even in the presence of the mother and father, the child cannot be protected, saved. They are ready to spend money, they are ready to give whatever is required, but we have no ability to hold the life of somebody. And also, sometimes a rich man is admitted to Apollo hospital or something, and costliest of the medicines are given. The best of the international specialist doctors are administering the treatment and everything. And he dies in the hospital itself, surrounded by costly medicines. Correct now? On the other hand, you will find somebody is living in a slum. His wife is cooking in near the gutter. Dog is moving here and there. Sometimes you are afraid dog should not pass urine or something. And they are cooking in the open space. And this fellow is atta-kata. You have seen that? He doesn't get disease only. Any of you have seen that? There are people like that. So if one is protected with the Lord, one can live long. Similarly, you are in an ocean, the ship is passing, you shout, save me, but ship, nobody may hear. But if one gets the mercy of the Lord, ship may come and pick you up and go. So Prahlada is saying that. Read that purport.
Through parental care, through remedies for different kinds of disease, and through means of protection on the water, in the air, and on land, there is always an endeavor for relief from various kinds of suffering in the material world. But none of them are guaranteed measures for protection.
Everywhere there is danger. In Latur, there was an earthquake. If you are sitting on the land, earth can open. You saw the Myanmar earthquakes, you saw? Buildings are collapsing like a pack of cards. Myanmar, if you put Myanmar earthquake, you will immediately get in YouTube. Whole buildings like they crumble down. Many, many buildings, like a pack of cards. So earth can give problem. If you go to water, one can get drowned. Then there is Chicago fire accident. Then there was also fire accident recently in LA, Los Angeles fires, correct no? Or wind, New Orleans, Katrina, Rita, and all those cyclones. So the Panchamahabhut can offer you, Panchamahabhut is required by you, but the same Panchamahabhut can also become cause of one's death also. Yeah.
Despite the presence of a mother and father, a child cannot be protected from accidental death, disease, and various other miseries. No one can help, including the parents. Ultimately, the shelter is the Lord, and one who takes shelter of the Lord is protected.
Yeah. In Russia, one instance became very famous. There was a farm community. In the farm community, occasionally trucks would go, very rarely, through that. So one truck was coming fastly. So in one of the houses, a child, one small kid was playing outside the house, and the child was crossing the road. It was in the middle of the road, and the truck was going very fast. So the father, in that rooftop, he was shouting to the child, "Hey, go away from the road." And then the father came running down to protect the child. By the time the truck had gone ahead. So the father didn't know what happened. And child was not seen on the road also. Did the truck drag the child and take away? He was thinking. He didn't hear any screaming sound also. But what had happened was, when the child was lying on the top of the yellow hay, hay they keep in the side. Somehow he went from here, God knows, and not even a scratch in the body of the child. It was fully safe. The father climbed up on the top, and the child was smiling. He picked up the kid, and the kid was telling, when the big vehicle was coming, Lord Narasimha picked me up and threw me there. So his body was having nails of Lord Narasimha. Because this child would sing every day 3-4 times Narasimha Arati. He was very fond of it. So in those days, this became a very famous email all across the globe. It was going. How this miracle happened. When Lord wants to protect somebody, that person, nothing will happen to him. There was one devotee who fell on the road and truck went like this. And because the truck's bottom touched this thing, he got some fracture in the rib. Otherwise, everything else was safe. And he was alive. So, and he went on serving for several decades after that. Yeah, go ahead.
Despite the presence, nature, Prakriti, is so strong that no one can overcome her stringent laws. So called scientists, philosophers, religionists, politicians should therefore conclude that they cannot offer facilities to the people in general. They should make vigorous propaganda to awaken the populace and raise them to the platform of Krishna consciousness.
Because these people only know the body. They don't know anything beyond the body. This body is here today, it will be gone tomorrow. Therefore, one should work for the welfare of the soul. That's the point.
We can never be happy without the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Tvad upekshitanam. If we keep displeasing our Supreme Father, we shall never be happy within this material world, in either the upper, lower planetary systems. Whether one thinks himself protected by his parents, by the government, by some place, or by some other cause, everything is due to the various potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything that is done, whether in the higher, middle, or lower planetary systems, is due to the supervision or control of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. So, I finished up to 19 verses. I have a Zoom meet now after some time. So, I will stop with this. But there are 55 prayers. So, there are many more prayers. But some of the important ones we did today. And if you go ahead, I just picked up the important points to the purport and put them together like this. So they're very, very beautiful verses and purports. So this chapter is a very important chapter, 7th canto, 9th chapter, where this verse on time is a very important verse. This is verse number 22. 22 and 23. These two are very important verses, 22 and 23. And 24. This is the concluding verse on time. How powerful Lord Narasimha is. 22, 23, 24. These three you can read now. And 25 onwards, it's on happiness. If you want to know what Prahlada says about happiness, 25. Yes. So after that, 26, 29 is on gratitude to Guru. I think I had given summary table here in the beginning, I think. You see? Avoiding pride, giving up false shelters, gratitude to Guru, seeing Krishna in the world, ending our distaste for hearing, giving up our laziness in preaching, and this is the entire section. And getting rid of contaminations in our bhakti, avoiding material consciousness while doing worldly duties. So, in this way, this is verses 1 to 50. Actually, verses 1 to 50 and also next chapter 1 to 23. So, these are very, very wonderful learnings of Prahlad Maharaj's prayers and Prahlad's dealing with Lord Narasimha. 10th chapter means Prahlad and Lord Narasimha are conversing. They are very wonderful. This. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki, Raj Prahlad Maharaj ki.